Rachel, maybe we could start with a quick introduction to Recette. What exactly are you selling on the internet?
So Recette is a children's tableware brand that is reimagining mealtime from the ground up. So our plates and bowls, are made from plant-based PLA, which is an alternative to melamine and petroleum-based plastics that is safer and more sustainable. And we pair those with stainless steel utensils and silicone placemats that look beautiful on your table and are easy to clean. Recette is about giving families products that are safe, practical, and design forward so that family mealtime feels as intentional as any other part of home life.
And did you have a background in the world of D2C? What gave you the confidence to launch this business?
Sure. I started my career in finance and I was an equity analyst focused on the consumer sector, covering big companies like Walmart, Target, and Costco, and really staying on the pulse of consumer trends at some of the largest retailers in the world. From there, I started a digitally native women's apparel brand in 2019.
hmm
Founded that and ran that for 5 years. So I did have some experience in manufacturing and production and brand building and just managing day-to-day operations of a digital first but omni-channel brand.
That's so interesting. How different is the product you're working on now versus being in apparel? Does it feel like two completely different worlds, or are there lots of lessons you can pull from your apparel days?
I did pull a lot of lessons from my apparel days. One of the core tenets of our brand was taking really timeless, sophisticated silhouettes and using beautiful colors and prints to update them and, create pieces that you would look at time and time again that would make you feel happy. And I think also what I learned from that is in fashion, inevitably you have so many different styles and sizes and they fit people differently. And when I thought about what I wanted to do next, when I was moving on from that, instead of creating different styles every season, focus on building a portfolio of core products that I
Yeah.
could feel incredibly proud of, that I could update with new colors and new prints. Instead of reinventing the wheel with different styles every season, focus on a core collection that I could build out over time.
Was the idea for Recette something you had for many years? And during your time as a founder in the apparel space, or maybe even during your banking days? Or was it a more recent thing that you're like, oh, I must do this? And it was like a new idea that came about?
Yeah, I really started Recette out of frustration as a mom. So I started my clothing line when I had a tiny baby at home, and we launched when I was pregnant with my second. And so it was a crazy 5-year period of being a mom of young kids, but also starting and running a business. And when I finally picked my head up, I had gotten out of the baby stage with all of the bottle sterilizers and the puree makers and the bouncers and the play mats. But really, the vestige of that stage was I had this crazy drawer of like mismatched dinnerware that I had accumulated over time, always trying to get what was the safest and best product for my child, but being totally overwhelmed and confused by all of the noise out there in the market. And so I had a red silicone bowl that was attached to a placemat and like a rainbow stainless steel plate and then like a pink silicone bowl and then like a wheat straw plate. And I just couldn't figure out what I should be using, what was safe to go in the dishwasher, what was safe to go in the microwave. And I wanted to do something about it.
Yeah.
When I couldn't find children's tableware for myself that was free of hidden toxins, easy to use every day, aesthetically pleasing, and microwave and dishwasher safe, I decided to really hone in on this problem. Everything really just seemed to make me compromise, either like safe but hard to look at, or stylish but breakable, or unsafe. So I surveyed other parents to make sure that I clearly understood the pain points in the market and that it wasn't just me, and, got on my way. But I think I understood the opportunity to create products that give family mealtime the beautiful moment that it deserves without sacrificing safety because of my background in fashion and brand building.
What was the R&D process like on the product development front?
Yeah, it always takes longer than you expect. But it was a lot of research and testing and back and forth with factories. I knew from the beginning that I didn't want to use any materials currently on the market. So the first thing I did was bring on a chemical engineer to engage in materials research. And I spent months understanding the nuances of materials alongside the benefits and drawbacks of stainless steel, silicone, bamboo, wheat straw, melamine. And we identified PLA as the ideal material for children's tableware. And from there, I began the process of identifying a factory, making samples, and ultimately engaging in third-party materials testing, which is a very rigorous process. Getting to that first prototype really meant like endless sampling and rejecting samples, creating molds, refining colors and finishes until they felt just right, which was like painstaking and exhilarating at the same time, as really each iteration brought me closer to showing me that the vision was possible.
And did your vision change along that journey, or was it still like, I'm dead set on making these specific types of product using PLA? Or along the manufacturing and product discovery journey, were you like, well, actually, this whole idea that I initially had for Recette has to pivot to be slightly different, or like the range has to be smaller, or things like that? Or was it
Yeah.
really confirming everything along the way?
The biggest pivot for me was that when I originally imagined the brand, I was really inspired by vintage china.
Mm.
And again, going back to those like timeless, beautiful prints. So when I saw like china with beautiful butterflies or birds or flowers on it or jungle prints, I always felt like this is absolutely timeless and gorgeous. My children would like this, and so would I. This is what I also want on my table. And why is there not children's dinnerware using these beautiful, timeless, sophisticated designs? Instead, my kid is like, think there could be a beautiful tiger and like palm leaf, and instead there's like Daniel Tiger and Paw Patrol on kids' plates. So my original vision was to take these beautiful, timeless designs from antique dinnerware and bring them to children's dinnerware. And then when I finally found a factory, they were like, we can't print on this material. It will fade in the dishwasher. You won't have the quality that you want and the same degree of material safety if we print on it. So I ended up making solid plates, which I think was for the best, actually. And then what I did to really complete that aesthetic and the look on a table that I wanted while still remaining kid friendly is I created silicone placemats
Mm.
in those beautiful timeless prints.
Oh,
And the
cool.
placemats have been a great addition to the collection. Not only do they help visually define the brand and create the kind of table that I want, they are incredibly easy to clean, lightweight, like, stick on many tables, depending on what your table is made of, and really do help to redefine that mealtime moment with a
Mhm.
family, make it more like beautiful and happy and all the things that I was hoping to achieve.
Yeah, congratulations. Honestly, it looks really, really good. And I love the product definition, the market you're looking at, the opportunity that you saw. The product looked great. The design direction is super strong. And yeah, I know it's only been a few months. I know you're live now in market, but I feel like it opens up so many creative opportunities from a marketing standpoint. I don't know if you've thought about doing influencer marketing or what your channel mix looks like, but curious to get your take on how you're marketing this product out now that it's got all the foundations to be a real hit.
Yeah, we are a small team of one right now, as you know. But the really nice thing about that is I'm super nimble and excited to test out different channels and see what delivers the types of ROI that we're hoping to achieve. So far, events have worked really well for us in building brand awareness and an opportunity to tell our story. I've dipped my toes in Google and SEO. We have worked with influencers, but it's been primarily organic at this point. We've been really lucky to get a lot of support just organically, which for me has really like validated the opportunity in this market and the void that parents are really feeling and, all of the confusion and dissatisfaction out there.
Yeah, I feel like the just the social angle of Recette is super strong. I could see the storytelling being very crisp on even TikTok videos and that type of format and
We,
the
we
whole.
just got on TikTok, so follow us. And we also have some really exciting brand partnerships coming up. So one of the nice things about the placemats taking the direction that they did is they lend themselves well to really great brand partnerships. So we have a placemat drop coming in January with a really exciting female founded business also in the home space. So
Cool.
definitely look out for that. And we'll have some exciting activations and events surrounding.
On the TikTok front, a lot of brands these days are going founder led first on the marketing side of things. It's not the playbook that everybody's using, but it's one that's quite top of mind for new DTC founders. Is that an approach that you're taking, or is it a different creative approach on the TikTok front?
For now, we're just really focusing on identifying with parents who are in the same shoes that I was in and frustrated with all of the hidden toxins and like greenwashing and confusing messaging and like really messy drawer with like mismatched dinnerware. So we're trying to tell the story through that angle instead of directly through me, but I'm open to any and all directions that make sense for the brand in the future.
Lastly, I just want to hear about some of the resources that have helped you along the way. Maybe you can share that with other founders. Have there been communities that you've joined, books that you've read, podcasts that you've listened to, or any other resources that have been helpful to you along the way?
Great question. I have been angel investing for a long time. And so I've had the opportunity to meet so many fantastic founders through the years. And I really leaned on my community of other founders and investors to identify really talented people to work with on building this. And so, both from founding a company before and angel investing, I've met great people and I had a great team build my website. And I have a wonderful industrial designer. And it's really mostly been referral based from the
Yeah.
community around me, which is great. And the one thing I would say is also having started a company in 2019 and then another one that launched in 2025. I've been leaning a lot on AI for a lot of the basic tasks that I used to do myself, like helping me write like fantastic customer service emails and stuff like that. So definitely I would not underestimate the role of great product descriptions, like so many things that I used to do, but AI is actually really helpful in building a business in 2025.
Yeah, love that. Awesome. Cool. Well, Rachel, and if there's anything that people can support you with from the community, maybe now's a good time to mention that. If it's a follow on TikTok, or if you're looking for a resource support across any areas or things like that, let the community know. And otherwise, thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing the insights.
Yeah, definitely sign up for our newsletter on resettehome.com and follow us at Shop Recette on Instagram and at Reset Your Table on TikTok. And I'm always looking for feedback or introductions to great marketers or just talented professionals that I can partner with as I grow Reset.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. I'll pause here.